Poll question for hour 2 is going to be what, Seton O'Connor?
We got a couple of options here. Paul is very optimistic on Shohei Ohtani. He wants to know how many MVPs he ends his career with. 4, 5, 6, 7 plus.
Okay. Who has the most MVPs in baseball history?
Barry Bonds has 7.
7?
Nobody else has more than 3. There's like 7 guys in history that have 3. But if you could, Barry got 3 before the Giants and 4 with. So it's a dubious 7, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
So here's the point.
Asterisk.
I was thinking about Ohtani. How does he not win the MVP over the next few years? If you combine 50-plus home runs with a 300 average, that'll probably get it for you. And then you add in maybe a dozen starts or helping his team, and a great team that's always in the playoff picture. It's almost like betting against him winning the MVP would be a bad bet in the near future.
Yeah, I think he's got a built-in advantage if he does pitch. I mean, he's already going to put up offensive numbers. He just hit his 20th home run. He's homered in 3 consecutive games. We're not surprised anymore with that. I think coming back to pitch, and if he's going to be successful, how much do you use him? But what's Ohtani have, 3 MVPs now?
Yes, he has 3 in the past 4 seasons, and he finished runner-up once.
Okay.
Does he ever? He probably won't ever get the treatment that Giannis would get, or even Michael Jordan, because no one else does what he does.
Well, who would you compare him to? With those other players, like basketball players are putting up crazy stats now. And, everybody gets 20 points, it feels like. In baseball, not everybody is doing what Ohtani does. Now, guys hit a lot of home runs, but he's still hitting for average. He's helped out by being in the National League because Aaron Judge, the season that he's having in the American League. So there's only one MVP. They don't do one for the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, and that's what baseball does. But I would be surprised if Ohtani doesn't end up with at least 5 MVPs. Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, I was saying the same because if you look at it, there's a couple guys who pop up every year in the NL, but at the end of the day, when you get to the vote, you're going to have to create a reason to not vote for Ohtani.
Yeah.
It's like the best story or some guy who comes out of nowhere.
But he can pitch, and if he's able to pitch, and I understand that he wants to pitch, and the Dodgers, love that novelty as well. I just wouldn't want to run the risk of another arm surgery. Then it takes the bat out of the lineup. Yes, Eden.
But is there something to like sort of the other side of that argument where he would have to be a great pitcher and a great hitter? Like he has to be sort of great in both respects. I'm not saying that he's not necessarily, but that's a high bar to keep up every year.
I would say he just has to be a good pitcher and a great hitter. Because I don't know if he's going to pitch enough to be a great pitcher. I think he can be a guy who maybe wins like 12 games. But I don't know how much you want to use him. Is a 5-man rotation? Is he a 6-man rotation? I don't. And plus, pitchers now are pitching 5 innings. So that's a little bit different with the wear and tear on him. But he's had a couple of, quote, procedures that would make me nervous. Yeah, Paulie.
Ohtani's last 3 years as a starting pitcher, and he only started about 25 games a year. He was 9-2, 15-9, 10-5. He was like a B+. His stats were very good. His ERA was very good, but he didn't have enough starts to get to 20 wins, but it helped him get the MVP.
If he gets between 10 and 15 wins and he's Ohtani at the plate, I don't know how anybody can come close to him as far as the MVP.